Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 2. This is your host, Master Vinny MC, and before we get started today, I'm going to show you two clips, one with morning voice, one without morning voice, but we'll get into that later. I wanted to cover one thing real quick. I had originally recorded an episode 2 of this series. This is kind of like episode 2.5. It's my second take. And basically, in that episode, what I had done is I'd done a little bit exploring around the biome, and I'd finally found the sugarcane that we so desperately needed. And I built a little sugarcane farm down there, and I decided that that wasn't big enough because goodness gracious, the sugarcane grows slow. And yeah, and so I planted some more down there, and I moved the cows. The cows are no longer down there. We can go ahead and pop on that because it's a little weird without it. And I moved the cows over there in the pen, and I also found some vines and a few other resources. But for a few reasons, part of it being artistic integrity, I scrapped the second episode because the quality just wasn't where I wanted it to be. And I've had to make a few difficult decisions about what this series is going to be like. And unfortunately, it's going to have a little bit more of a world tour feel to it. And what that means for you guys is that you guys are going to see not every single detail of what I build. I'm going to basically build some things in my free time when I can't necessarily record, and then later on I will come back and I will give you a tour of what I built, and you guys will have a commentary, and I will try to take you through how I arrived at that, particular style, or that why I decided to use that particular element or make that decision. And I will intersperse that, or maybe that's I just realized that's kind of a big Scrabble word there, but I will add to that here and there bits where we do some detailed work. It won't be for the entire build. It won't be for the entire transition. And that makes me a little sad because I would like to share it all with you. But there are some practical reasons for scheduling that don't allow me to record all the time. And obviously for you guys, if I showed you everything, that would be very long episodes, and I don't want to bog you down with that. So I thank you all very much for being here with me, and I hope that you enjoy what I have for you. Yeah, and so thanks for watching. Alright guys, let's take a peek at what we got going on here. Yeah, so besides a little morning voice and a late night of kind of working on this and thesis and some other things, being a busy college man as I usually am, I have added a few little things. Actually, I'd almost forgotten that I'd put these on. These are little fence posts, and I'm not sold on them. I kind of just put them up there, and I decided that I would leave them up there for a little while and I'd see how they look. Probably the most important thing for you guys that you'll notice right off the bat, though, is I went ahead and made a bunch of chests, and I put them in here for storage. They don't really have anything in them yet. I was thinking that, if this is a mining camp, both practically and design-wise, I'm gonna need a lot of storage for what we mine. Mostly just, boxes and boxes for things like cobble and dirt and gravel and storage stuff, because eventually use up all those materials, but just not right off the bat. And so I went ahead and I kind of tucked them in the wall here a little bit. In between these two chests, I've got a row of fences, and I just did some upside down stairs and some half slabs and some fences to kind of frame in the whole thing. And yeah, so a little feedback on that would be greatly appreciated. Let me know how you guys like the look, or if you come up with anything, let me know. Send me a picture or a video or a comment or something, and yeah. And I want to kind of clean this up with a little smooth stone. Some of the smooth stone, that I use in building, and other smooth stone I just kind of end up actually using to make the landscape look a little bit more natural, make it look like it grew there. And that drives some people nuts, but you gotta understand, I'm a person that cooks stacks of smooth stone day in, day out. It's the reason why I never have any coal, actually, and the reason why I pick up so much coal while I'm mining is because I know that that's what I end up doing. But I totally sold myself. Oh, hi. No, you don't. I'm gonna just go away because I don't want you to blow this up. So I was gonna walk around to the other side, but apparently I'm not. I'm gonna get monstered out here. Can I get my bow? My bow will help at least. Well, I wasn't planning on the creeper. I don't think anybody plans on the creeper. He just kind of comes along and messes up your day, the jerk. How could he? There we go. Crisis averted. And yeah, that was just a regular bow. So, now that we're down here, now that we're down in this little valley, I just kind of wanted to let you guys see from here what this is looking like, or what this could potentially look like. I want there to be maybe like little windows in the back of this mining camp room, kind of make it maybe look like a little bit of a castle wall kind of built into there, and maybe just clean up this ball a little bit and make that look good. And then down on the floor of this valley, put in a few buildings, maybe a little bit of farm work, and just some smaller houses, you know what I mean? Maybe for like villagers. Maybe not literally for like NPC villagers, but you can imagine that not every house is going to be literally a full-scale castle. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And that's what I had on my mind. And that bridge, before I got attacked by the creeper, I want to back up down. Here's a good view. Make sure I ain't going to back up into another creeper. Jeez Louise. You guys are probably dizzy with all my hopping around. I apologize. So this ridge, I want to carry down to about here, right? And then I want to bridge over and make a little bit of an artificial bridge. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this dirt away, and because that's boring work. And then I will meet you guys back when we talk about making the bridge naturally feel like it's gonna fit into the mountain. So I'll clear the dirt and I'll be back in just a minute. Hey guys, we're back. It's been a little bit of a break for me. I don't have my morning voice anymore. I want to kind of cover two things with you guys really quickly. Number one is just sound for this episode in general. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think about the sound quality. Just level-wise, am I a little bit easier to hear? I've been trying to turn up my mic. The bad news about that is that I pick up a lot of background noise, and there's some background noise that I record that I just I have no control over. I live in a dorm room with in the building literally hundreds of other people. It's a very big dorm room, several floors, and there's just all sorts of noise. So I record at hours of the day where I'm not going to be obnoxious to other people, and hopefully they're not going to be too obnoxious to me. But one of the noises that you guys might pick up in the background is basically doors slamming. And it's not too incredibly obnoxious, but if you hear a, gadoosh in the background, just, be aware that's what happens. And I apologize. I'm sure they will pop up every now and again. And when I can, I will do my best to edit them out. But if it happens during a key moment of me recording, then there's very little I can do about that. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. The other one is I wanted to talk about the style of this build project and how that will be going, just in general. I would very much like to take you guys through the process of how I developed things like this arch, but my restrictions for time during the day when I can record, I have to record either very late in the evening or very early in the morning, don't always make it the best for me to be able to record for reasons like morning voice, like sound contamination, and just scheduling wise. I might be able to play for a half an hour in the morning before I have to go to class, but that half an hour doesn't really translate very well in to the amount of time that I get to record. I need a little bit longer than that to really put out good material, do, you know, a little bit of planning and things like that. So we're gonna sleep before I get blown up by any more creepers chasing me unexpectedly. But yeah, so sound and style wise, I'm trying to come to a compromise so that I can continue to bring you guys good content, and I can still keep up with thesis and homework and other things like that. So if you can bear with a little bit of background noise, and hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better because I got my mic turned up a little bit, then I will continue to try and record at the times of day that work out. So yeah, glad I threw that out there. And now I would like to return to the build with you guys. So our point of view from before was over here on this mountain, and I've been trying to hop around a little bit too much without making you guys dizzy, so you can see how this area is transitioning, how the mining camp over here and this ridge that has been created by removing layers of dirt and in certain places adding smooth stone to the build is creating a separation between this valley right here, which extends from underneath the floating island up to here, and this valley back here, which, you know, will be different building zones, and stylistically could possibly be a little bit different, or maybe not. But this ridge adds dimension to that, if that makes sense. And I kind of like the way that it's working out. It's a little bit of you know, the rugged sort of build that I was talking about before, and I think that it will complement very well the modern castle look that we're going for in this map. At the same time as you know, the terraforming, I think it's important, and I think it fits in pretty well. Yeah. So over here, my plan is to, I think, make a walkway of sorts, or maybe even a staircase that comes just past the little mine entrance here, and comes up and over this bridge, which was made by placing the smooth stone in an arch from point A to point B, and kind of just not trying to make it a basic arch, but making it a little rough, making it a little natural looking, kind of like it grew there. And then I went ahead and I placed some dirt on top of that layer so that it grows over with the grass. And you know, I kind of just let the grass transition over while this side of the ridge is smooth stone. I would like this side of the ridge to remain a little bit more grassy. And this walkway, I think, eventually will probably lead over into this direction, and well, maybe we will cut a walkway out of the side of this valley here, because from up here we get a terrific view, and maybe we could even have it wind up to the top of the hill here. And you know, let's face it, this from up here is going to be a terrific view into both of these valleys, and of course still a terrific view of this floating island, which every time I look at it I am just all the more thrilled. It's got so much potential, and I keep on calling it a floating... Oh, hi! I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. I keep on calling it a floating island, even though technically it isn't entirely floating. It's still connected in some small capacity. So we're definitely keeping the big one. The little ones, we will probably TNT away. Yeah. So, I'm going to head over the ridge. And there is one more thing that I would like to finish up, and I think we have time for this episode. And down in the comments, I would like you guys to go ahead and tell me where you think I would build my house, personally. The house that'll probably contain, you know, things like my storage room, enchanting table, potion room, It's not going to be too big, but it's probably going to be our center of operations. So do we want to place it down in Valley 1 or Valley 2? You know, the smooth stone side or the non-smooth stone side? Do we want to maybe place it up on top of where the trees have been growing? Do we maybe want to do it on the island here, that we could make a floating island? We could dig out that little block, or maybe we could even craft some TNT. Or I think my maybe personal preference would be right where we're standing now, because we kind of get a really nice view of all the rest of it from here. This is kind of central to some of the other things that we can see and that I think we've been talking about working with. So yeah. And to the keen eye, you will probably notice that there was a bit of a floaty bit here, kind of just out of nowhere, and I did take out that because it was in the way of this ridge. So if you were wondering if that had disappeared or not, you know, congratulations to you. You've got a keen eye for detail. And hi, cow. Cow on roof. Cow on roof. How you got there, I have no idea. Yeah, about that. So the other thing that I wanted to finish up was right here. Oh, I don't think I wanted to place that block. And I wanted to take some of the smooth stone and figure out how much of this wall I could expose to this back valley. And what I mean by that is I would like very much from the floor of that valley for the back of this mining camp to look a little bit like a castle in and of itself. In that if I go ahead, and I almost wish I had an ender pearl, because I could just throw one down there and it would be so easy. I could pearl down and pearl back up. But I've been spoiled. I've been playing on servers way too much, where of course everybody's oh so eager to build things like ender farms. And I'm sure we'll build one at some point. I'll probably do most of it off camera and just kind of show you guys how that looks. You know, speaking about castles, it might be really interesting to build, if anybody's familiar with like maybe Howl's Moving Castle, maybe like a giant steampunk sort of castle out of end stone, and we could, you know, work the functionality of an ender into that. So yeah, that would probably be the only reason why I would do any of that building on camera. If it ended up just kind of being for utility, then I think I would go ahead and build it off camera, because you guys have seen them, and if you guys want one, there are already terrific tutorials out there, so I don't need to be doing that. You guys got that under control. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a little bit of this away here, and I think that I will be maybe making this face of this cliff a little bit more steep here. Go ahead and back up. There we go. Yeah, so this is what I kind of wanted it to look like from here. So that it transitions down into here, and if I've got some small houses or farms, it still kind of looks like a castle. And I don't know if I want to keep quite that style, but I want to make it maybe just even that much exposed, maybe just a few windows, and I might build maybe like a small tower in here. I might use this ridge and then build maybe like a quick spiral staircase up, and then maybe like a little pointed roof on top of this, and then a little door that comes in the backside, so that if you're down here on the ground, you don't have to go the long way around the ridge. You can just kind of quick staircase up and get into your mining resources. So I think maybe we will we will save something like that for the next episode, and I think maybe that's where we'll go with it. And again, I'm okay with waiting a little bit of time and doing a little bit of pre-planning and getting some feedback on you guys on where my main house is going to be. I'm not in too much of a hurry to be doing that, mostly because it's going to be a big project, and I would really rather do it right than do it hastily and feel like I have to do it over again. So go ahead and let me know what you think about the build so far. Let me know what you think about the sound, and you know, if you make videos yourself, you know, maybe go ahead and share a story about, you know, what was your worst recording experience. You know, all you wanted to do was record, you know, somebody turned on the vacuum or the blender or something, you're just like, gosh darn it, you know, I got frustrated. So it's okay, go and vent in the comments, and I will understand. But the sun is set. I gotta go off and go to bed, literally and in the game here, and this will wrap up an episode for us. When we come back, we'll be building the staircase, and maybe we'll just tuck in a little bit of a tower to kind of finish it off in there. And you know, it's kind of castle themed, you know what I mean? A little spiral tower and a little pointy roof. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the future.